Mr. Kading asked you yesterday, or said you didn't tell your parents things. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you tell your parents things?
I was afraid.
You told the police that night at the hospital that you didn't think that your mom was trying to hurt you, correct?
Yeah.
And that you thought that she was trying to protect you from the chaos, correct?
I don't remember that.
If an officer came later and testified to that, would you disagree with that?
I don't know.
Okay. Because it was chaotic, right?
Yeah, it was chaotic.
Zayla, do you know someone by the name of Fatima Ali?
Yes.
And do you call her Fatima or do you call her something different?
I call her Ali.
Zayla, I want to bring your attention to October 18th of 2024. When school let out that day at 2 p.m., where did you go?
I went to the bus stop in front of the school.
And you indicated when you got to the bus stop, Ali and Isiah were already there. What were they doing when you first got to the bus stop?
I think Ali was arguing with her father. She was crying.
Okay.
And she was talking in a really high pitch. And it just seemed like she was afraid.
Okay. And what about her father? What kind of tone did he have?
He was yelling at her. At one point, I think Ali tried to walk away or something, and her father grabbed her.
And when Ali's father tried to grab her, what if anything, did Isiah do?
He tried to pull her back.
Okay. And when Isiah tried to pull Ali back, what was her father's reaction?
I think he punched him in the face. I looked and they had fell to the ground and he had Ali in a chokehold. His arm was wrapped around her throat and she couldn't breathe. Her lips were turning purple.
Caleb, I want to bring your attention to October 18th of last year. After school got out at 2 p.m. that day, where did you go?
To the bus stop.
And what about Fatima? Was she already there?
Yes.
Okay. And what about Isiah?
He was there.
Okay. And you mentioned there was a man there as well. What was the man doing when you first got to the bus stop?
He was like aggressively talking to Fatima and Isiah.
And then at some point, while the man was yelling at Fatima, did Isiah try to do anything?
It looked like he was trying to get him to like go get away from them and like kind of de-antagonize or like get rid of the situation. And that's when we had like turned around because we had heard some like commotion and he had like struck or like pushed Isiah.
After he did that, what did the man do?
He had turned towards his daughter. She had like backed up and he had like lunged at her and like grabbed her kind of from behind. He kind of like wrapped his arms around her shoulder, like neck area. They kind of like struggled, but he got her in a headlock.
I want to bring your attention to October 18th of last year, and I'm going to ask you some questions about that day. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And Athena, where did you go after school was done for the day at around 2 p.m.?
I walked through the parking lot to the bus stop.
And what about Fatima? Do you remember if she was already there?
They had came after I had got there.
Okay. And when you
Her
say
and
they,
Isiah.
who are you referring to?
Her and Isiah.
And when you first saw Fatima, do you remember what she was wearing?
She was in very baggy clothing. She had a beanie on and like a COVID-19 face mask, like one of the blue ones. Like she was trying to hide almost, and she had bags.
After Fatima and Isiah got to the bus stop, did any adults show up?
Oh, her father had showed up.
What did he do after he showed up?
They got into, well, it wasn't really a verbal argument, but it wasn't in English, so he was ushering her with his hand to like come towards the car that he had got out of. The bus had pulled up and she turned away from her father for a second and her father went to grab her, and Isiah had grabbed onto his arm to try and pull his arm off or like stop him from touching her in some way. And when he did that, he punched Isiah. Fatima's father had punched Isiah, and he fell onto the floor.
And after Fatima's father punched Isiah, what did Fatima's father do after that?
Turned to Fatima because she had turned around at this point to see what was going on, and kind of like latched onto her neck and just tackled her to the floor.
What was Fatima's mother doing?
She had came up behind both of us and tried to grab her in some sort of way, and she was crying and yelling.
When do you first see her father's truck, if you remember?
I'm not sure if it was or wasn't at first, but when we walked by, it was parked next to the sidewalk.
And what was her response when she saw Fatima's dad, or when she saw her dad?
She started like shaking and getting like scared. He approaches Fatima and they have a conversation. He starts to get more aggressive, and we see the bus, so I try to push her a little bit so we could get ready to go, and then he grabs her, and I look back up at him, and then he punches me, and then for a second, I don't know what happened for a second, and then I seen him like grab her. He kind of like spun her around in a way because she didn't want to go with him, and he like grabbed her and put her in a headlock.
And how did Fatima appear to you?
Her face was looking like pale, and her eyes were starting to roll back.
Her eyes were rolling back.
Yes, ma'am. At first, she was trying to fight it, and then she kind of just like her arms kind of just frizzed out a little bit, and then she just like went limp.
When she went limp, were her dad's arms still around her neck?
Yes, ma'am. Her mother is like screaming and crying, and she grabs Fatima like around her throat area and like is sobbing.
Do you remember specifically if her mom made contact with you?
Yes, she tried to grab me at the end.
Did Fatima speak with you in like her normal voice or anything like that you remember while her mom had her around the throat?
No, other than I can't breathe. He was dragging her, he grabbed her, started dragging her, and then I tried to move my arm away. So I put my hand on his hand and my hand on her shoulder to try to pull him apart.
Oh, she wasn't supposed to be dating anybody.
Yes, sir.
But that didn't concern you too much, the two of you dated?
Yes, sir.
You getting punched initially, correct?
Yes, sir.
You then go over to him by the tree in the dirt area, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you punch him back, correct?
Yes, sir.
You broke your hand, right?
Yes, sir.
Just to be clear, you weren't, Fatima wasn't supposed to be dating you. You knew that, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you have been welcome to have dinner at their house based on what you knew?
No, ma'am.
Were you ever invited over to their house?
No, ma'am.
Had you been in front of their house?
Yes, ma'am.
Had you been asked to leave?
Yes, ma'am.